All right, welcome to another episode of the On the Pursuit podcast, where we connect with entrepreneurs, movers, shakers, people that are on the pursuit towards their goals and their dreams. And I'm super excited about this episode because on this episode, not only do we have Clara Angelina Diaz Anderson, who's my master coach and executive leadership coach, but she's the one that gave me the fundamentals. She's the one that gave me the, like I said, the fundamentals and the frameworks. And like when I was thinking about coaching, she's the one that helped me get this thing right. So I'm super excited to have her on this episode and have her share her journey, share what's currently going on, and share how she's impacting lives. So, Clara, I just want to welcome you and thank you for making time to talk to me on the podcast.
Brandon, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, and I guess one of the first things that I want to touch on is like what got you into coaching, but then also what made you want to coach people to become coaches, which I think is really interesting because since I've been a coach, I've been running into coaches that are teaching us specific, subject or expertise, but I haven't really met anyone else teaching coaches how to become coaches. So what made you want to be a coach, and then how did you come to that specific niche?
That's a great question. So it all started when I used to have this career as an artist. A lot of people don't know that I used to have this career before I was a painter and I made paintings, and I was part of this group where we all got together once a month, artists of all kinds, to support each other. I've always, really been really into community, like, just always finding other people that are doing what I'm doing and that are doing great things. Like these were people that were like in museums and like were really well known. And here I am, like, I don't think I had ever even taken an art class, but I just felt it in my soul to paint, and I did. So in that group, there was a gentleman who said that he was a coach. And the way that he described himself, he didn't say, "Oh, I'm a coach." He said, "What I do is that I help people to validate their natural gifts, what's natural in them. And I help them make a living and find a way for their gifts to make space for them," or something like that. And when he said that, Brandon, it was like I saw a glow over his head. And like you have those moments where it's like the angels are like, ah. And I just felt like, I need to work with this guy. So not even 3 months into working with him, I already had my first solo show. I was selling my paintings for hundreds of dollars. And like Artscope magazine, one of the major like art magazines, came to write about me. And I thought, just, working with this gentleman for 3 months, here I am like achieving things that I didn't think I was going to do until I was like in my 60s.
Wow.
And this is just like scratching the surface. And then we got, deeper into, really looking at like deep relationships and my core beliefs. And it was such a transformation in such a short amount of time that I just wanted to do that for other people. And I was like, I want to do this for my people, because naturally I've always been the kind of person that like I want to push people. I want them to do their best. Like if I have a resource and I know it can help you, like I'll share it. That's just been my nature ever since I was a little girl. And to like actually have a title for this, like being a coach, I thought, okay, I want to dedicate my life to doing this. And that's what made me become a coach, like having experienced it for myself. And then how did I want to be like certify other people was because when I like one of the main ways that I promote myself is by speaking. And here in Massachusetts, like the people of color, we're the minority in coaching. When you think of coaching here in the Northeast, you might think of a tall white man. And when I would be at conferences and workshops, I would literally have a line of people waiting to talk to me. And the first question that people will ask me is, how did you become a coach? I want to do what you're doing. How did you do that? So I think it went on for like 5 years of like this like question just nagging at me. And then I finally decided, like, what would be, I'm always asking myself, like, what's the ultimate dream? And there's always a dream behind the dream behind the dream.
Yes.
And I'm always moving in that direction. And one of those dreams was, I've coached people. I love coaching people. I love making an impact. I love to see the transformation. But if I really want to make a wave and change the face of coaching and change, like, when you think of a coach, you can think of people of all colors. I want to be able to be someone that can create more coaches. And that's where it all started.
So when you first started forging this path, was that the main direction for you? Like when you originally started coaching, did you start coaching wanting like other? Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is, did you start coaching other people to become coaching, or did you start coaching it on a different thing, and then you made that transition?
Right. I made the transition. Like I honestly didn't have the confidence to do that at the beginning. Yeah, no, at the beginning, I was just trying to help people like figure out their goals and giving them permission and confidence to actually go after their goals and helping them with everything that I knew to overcome any obstacle that would help them get there. And that's like level 1, right? Then level 2 was for me to say, okay, now that I can help you achieve your goals, like what if I helped you help your team reach their goals, right? Level 2. That's like organizational. And then I thought, okay, that's the individual, the organization. And now I'm trying to make societal change. Is like, I want to change the world. So in order for me to do that, I need to have other coaches doing this with me. And that's when, once I saw like, not only that I could make a transformation in a person, in an organization, in a community, now I'm interested in like global waves of change. That's what excites me. It excites me every day.
So I think what you said right there is really impactful, because it seems like you're really moving from the passion.
Yes.
Right? You're moving for the passion, and then you took that action, and then while you're taking the action, you're like, okay, well, I think now I can help people do this. You kind of moved in that wave, and you're like, well, now I can see I can really help people do this. But the overarching is that, like you said, you really just wanted to make an impact, go global, change the landscape of what a coach may look like.
Yes.
Have a deeper impact in certain areas where, coaching may not be a traditional thing that people are doing. So that's really amazing. What do you feel like is the reason why some people may be hesitant to, work with a coach? What have you seen in the past or even currently?
One of the things is that, maybe you're not ready, to face your dark side, quite honestly, because like you could really want something, but there may be an energy or, a past, something that happened in the past or trauma that you have that is not going to allow you to really play full out. Or maybe you go after what you say you want, but then you're met with resistance and you take like 7 steps back. Right. And the thing is that like the human beings, like we're so smart and we're so self-protective that when we go for change, we, it can be pretty traumatic. You're literally like, there's parts of you that literally have to die in order for you to move to that next iteration of where you want to go. It's not just about getting the thing. It's about who you're becoming in order to match that future place and time. And so not everybody's ready to really move in that direction. I think there's a lot.
What's up, y'all? It's Brendan Boyd, speaker, productivity coach, and host of the On the Pursuit Podcast, and I want to talk to you all about my brand new book, The 8 Secrets to Success Playbook. Now, this playbook is jam-packed with all sorts of value. So if you're a coach or a consultant or an expert and you're looking to 5x or even 10x your business, you definitely want to grab a copy of this playbook. I'm talking about conversions, lead generation, high ticket offer, continuity offer, the power of speaking, the power of making a book for yourself, promoting, advertising is all in this playbook. So you definitely want to make sure that you grab a copy. Click the link below, get a copy of your playbook, and I'll see you on the other side. So what I'm gathering there is definitely something that I realize as well when I talk to people. I mean, you pretty much said when you're going for change and you really are working on creating what that future self is going to be. There's definitely areas of yourself that do have to die.
Yes.
And that can be scary for a lot of people because, like you said, you have you got the inner battle going on. You're facing your dark side. You're moving away from that. But that ego inside of you or that part of you doesn't want to let go.
It wants to keep you safe.
It wants to keep you safe, yeah.
Yeah. It wants to keep you safe. And then the other thing too is that's really big, like human beings, we are tribal people, right? We want to be in community. We want to belong. And we have been, maybe you've been part of a group of people or of a vibration of a certain kind that even though it's uncomfortable, it may be mediocre. It may not be awesome, but that's part of where you are. And in order for you to grow to the next level and like move in the direction of where you say you want to go, you're not going to belong to that tribe anymore. You're not, and that's hurtful. It hurts.
Yeah.
There's going to be loss. But then on the other side of that, for those people that are listening, it's not all bad. On the other side of that, like there is, it's not lonely at the top. Trust me. It's not. Okay. It's going to be awesome. And you're going to be a new person and it's going to be great. You might be lonely for a while, but it's okay. You'll find others who will match your vibration.
So Clara's speaking some truth right there because I got to use my own examples when I just say, since I've been a coach, I've always been someone that's been into like discipline and getting better, just working on myself and things like that. But ever since I've been a coach, I feel like that intensity level has like heightened, like even more so. So as I'm forging this path and I'm working towards becoming the version of me that I want to become, it has been lonely. It has been like just me on certain days or certain months. But to your point, it's not really bad. I think once you kind of, I guess it really depends on your personality, but once you kind of work through those beginning stages of like, you're separating from something that's comfortable, like you said, that tribe, but that familiar energy or those routines. And then you're really focusing, you're working on the things that you want to work on, and you're starting to see some progression and some growth and some wins. Those are indications. Those are really, really solid indications that you're doing the right thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing, when like you look around and you're like, wow, I'm actually like living in my prayer. I'm living what I said I wanted to do many, many, many years ago. This is really wonderful. And you're being that light and that beacon for other people to say, wow, like if Brandon's doing it, man, I can do it too. And that's leadership.
100%. So for the viewers watching and for the people listening, I think they really want to get down to it. What do you actually do for people? Like, what did you actually do for me? Because I'm listen, you changed my life for real. So what do you actually do for people?
What I do for people is that I dismantle their mental programming. And I help them see how where they are has been because of this programming. And then in order for you to get to the next iterations of where you want to go and what you want and not just so much of like what you have to do to get there, but who you have to be. in order to get to where you want to go, you need to reprogram yourself. And that might be the hardest thing you ever do in life. But when you do it, you're going to be like a magician. You're going to literally be able to see something in your mind and actually see it like manifesting in front of your eyes. And that is a beautiful thing.
So does this stuff really work?
100%. It does work.
It doesn't work for everybody. Can anyone that's listening or watching, because I don't want to feel like I'm doing what I'm doing and you're doing what you're doing. But if anyone is watching or listening and they have this thought in their head that they want more, or they want to be a coach, or they just want some change, can this really work for anyone?
It does work. Let me tell you why, right? Because even when you're so what we're talking about is conscious creation, right? Like we are creating all the time. When with coaching, you're being a conscious creator. You're saying like, I want to go there. Like I want, what everybody wants. Like everybody wants, the online business with the $10,000 plus a month, and everybody wants to help people, and they want to travel and they want to have freedom and all those things, right? Even that's like you can be conscious about what you want. Right now, if you don't have what you want, it might be because you're not being conscious about what you want. So, but up to this point, everything that you have in your life, it's because you have created it. Maybe you created it unconsciously, but if you really work at creating your life consciously, you are going to see different results for sure. The power of creation is the power of creation. It's like nature. It's just how will you go? Can you see yourself as a creator? And if so, right, like changing your mind, because like up to this point, you've been thinking that you have no power and you have very little power. But like now understanding that you're like, wow, like I am a co-creator with the one who made the sun and the moon. Me and this source, God, whatever you want to call it, we are co-creating my life every single day. If you can own that and you can stay in that vibration and you get your support and you start to change your habits and you start to believe otherwise, guaranteed you're going to see changes.
Can you talk about the unconscious creation a little bit? Because I feel like what you just hit on was really powerful. Because yes, consciously creating is definitely something that Clara teaches. And I think what if you're watching or if you're listening, you really got to really nail this down. So consciously creating is obviously with intention, manifesting, using, executing, being really on what you're trying to do and seeing it to reality. But what is this unconscious creation, the subconscious creation that most of us aren't even thinking about? But like you said, we're constantly creating, but it's happening for us because it's in the back of the mind, it's the ego. What can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, let's make this tangible. Like let's think about the history of Black people in this country, right? Like we all know that the United States was built on the back of slaves, right? And so everyone who is a person of color in this country is literally has, or in the world, right, has an invisible inheritance of the suffering of those people, right? Of people of color who have had to fight so much and still have to fight in order to live dignified lives. That struggle and the programming of society against these people lives in our DNA and lives in our consciousness. It lives in our it lives in our thoughts, it lives in our blood. And every time someone attempts to live a life of joy and abundance and thriving, you're going to get resistance. And it's not just like, oh, you're being lazy. or you're procrastinating. That's like level 1. Okay. Deep down in there, right? It's like we have been programmed, all of society. It's like it's in the air we breathe. For you to stay down and work a 9 to 5 and do what you're told. And, there's this programming, and like, first we have to understand that there is a programming, right? And that's the unconscious. It's in us. Like, our parents, traumas and our parents' struggles, like, we carry some of that unconsciously. They didn't mean to give it to us, but because of their limited knowledge and their limited education, they did the best they could. So we just need to understand that it's not like the burden is not just, oh, I'm not working hard enough, or, if only I worked harder. Like, let's acknowledge the fact of like where we come from and those limitations. Once we acknowledge that and kind of like do our best to honor it, then we can move forward and say, I don't necessarily have to become a product of my environment. I can do better. I deserve better. Like, that phrase, like, I am my ancestors' wildest dreams because I've made it. Just that consciousness alone, right, then allows us to free ourselves to say, you know what? I'm going to freaking shoot for the stars. I'm going to shoot for the stars so I can land on the moon. And on that path, like, you might not get to the moon, but you're going to get higher than you ever could get if you just thought that all you could do was walk or crawl.
So how do people tap into that? Because if that's so ingrained in our DNA, if that's like like you said, in the air that we're breathing, if that's like inheritance that was passed down, how could someone listen to this and watching this start to unravel that? How do they start to tap into letting go and having that subconscious creation continue to manifest in their real life? How do they begin that journey?
Yeah, wow. Get a coach, get a therapist. And there's a book called Your Invisible Inheritance. And I think all people of color need to understand their history, quite honestly. Because if not, you're going to always want, like, you're going to go for things that you think are going to fill your cup, but they're not. What I'm talking about here is like, when we talk about being, about thriving, I'm talking about like feeling good in your soul and having more than enough to meet all your needs and want to do everything that you can do, because there's more than enough for everyone. And there's money being made every single day. Right. So I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about like wholesome, like being happy from the heart, peaceful type of life. Yeah. There's this book called, Your Invisible Inheritance. Like, read that, get yourself a coach. Like, if you're feeling pain every day, you're doing things to just like, put a Band-Aid on your pain, get a therapist, and then get a coach to help you do the things that you need to do.
So once people come into your program and they become certified,
yes,
and then now they're able to coach other people at whatever they want to do, what are some of the challenges you've seen from people that are coming out just starting their coaching business? What are some of the things people need to get, just have an idea that this may be something that comes up?
Yeah, so one of the things is, like, just because you became a coach doesn't mean you're not a human being anymore. So one of those things is just to maybe continuing with your own personal development, making sure that you're still taking really good care of yourself. That if you need a therapist, I'm big on mental health, and just keep on taking really good care of yourself. Working on your mental fitness. That's something that I've been really supporting my coaches with, is making sure that, we're using our brain power towards positive, loving, empathetic thoughts towards ourselves first. And then extending that to others. You know, we all, no matter how high you go, right? Different levels, different devils. So just making sure that you're taking really good care of yourself. That's one. And then the other piece of it too is the business side of it. You know, like we as coaches, like we love to give, we love to advise, we love to support people. But then there's this the analytical, more business aspect of it, which you know you're so good at, Brandon, is really looking at, you know, like what are those key activities that I need to be doing and making sure that I'm doing them, and you know, and looking at the numbers and having that, you know, balancing, right, your heart, your giving heart with your business mind, having those goals and making sure that, you know, that you're focusing on that as well. You know, it's not just about the giving, but to also be in a place where you're able to receive.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense, because I know that there's some coaches, even me in the beginning of my journey. I'm not like this anymore. I give them everything, you know, because it's like, first of all, the information is there anyway. So
Right.
you're either gonna find it on your own, or here, I'm gonna just give it to you. But what I find is that a lot of people will two things. One, people that you end up working with, clients, a lot of them don't implement the things anyway. So they're going to end up needing you to help them with the implementation, right? And then also, just as a beginning coach, what I noticed, there could be some hesitation with wanting to give too much, because then you're like, well, if I'm giving them this, what are they going to pay for if I'm just giving them this? So they may hold back or hesitate on, you know, giving or sharing a certain amount. Like I might just give them a little bit, right? You know, but it's like I feel like you have to trust that. Okay, if the free stuff I'm giving them is fire, they know if they pay for something, they really gonna get something crazy. So I know there's a little bit of struggle in the mindset when first starting coaching business and figuring out like how much you want to give and what should you hold back, and you know, what should you charge, and do I just have one offer, like those certain things. What would you say to that, coaches are trying to figure out that word?
So you know, I'm big on, you know, I'm big on quotes. So the way that the whole spirit of this giving and receiving thing in coaching, so it's two things. It's like, one is definitely givers gain. So the more you give, the more you gain. But you give without expectation, but then most importantly, you receive without resistance.
Yes. Yes.
Give without expectation and receive without resistance. And
that's a bar. That's a bar right there.
yeah, that's big. That's really what the second part, the receiving without resistance, that's the biggest piece that I find myself supporting coaches with after. Giving is not a problem. It's the receiving. You know, and putting yourself in that mindset where, you know, coaching is a pretty expensive service. But it's expensive for a reason, because if it's done well, it transforms lives.
If you're a coach, consultant, expert, or specialist, there's only 3 things that you need to take you from where you are right now to where you want to go. And those 3 things are this: a roadmap, consistency, and the right coaching. So if you're coachable, if you can follow a roadmap, if you're ready to be consistent, I invite you to jump on a call with me or someone from my team, and we can lay out the play to get you from where you are now to where you want to go. But I'm going to be honest. Not everyone is ready. This system isn't for everyone. This is only for someone who is ready and willing to be committed, who can follow a roadmap, and who is coachable. So if that someone is you, I invite you to jump on a strategy call with me or someone from my team. We'll lay everything out for you. All right? My name is Brendan Boyd, and I'll see you on the other side.
And just to kind of double down on what you said right there, coaching can be expensive if you're looking at just the number, right? So if you're just like, oh, okay, this coach is $5K, or this program is $10K, or maybe this program might even be $20K. So if you're just looking at it just for face value, it may sound like it's a lot of money. But if it's the right coach, and if it's the right program, and there's legitimate results from you see people that either took the program or maybe people that you've seen that have come out of it, you may not know, but you may be familiar with them or see their transformation, and you're ready, because you said that earlier, so I want to kind of get back to that. If you're ready, it's really just an energy exchange, right? Because I know that if I spend $10K for this coach in this program, I know exactly why I'm going to do it. And while I'm in the program, you have to look at it like, obviously every program is different, because some programs may be designed like you're just going to get a result, a quantitative result. Some programs you may be in because you actually want to make more money or learn a skill that's going to translate into you making more money, whatever the case may be. So if the program costs $10K and it's a 3-month program, is that really a lot of money?
Depends on it depends on your money mindset, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna get a program and you have access to a person who's gonna not only help you with the program, but it's gonna make sure you're implementing everything that you need that the program offers, which is gonna guarantee your result or get you closer to guaranteeing your result. And that result that you want is literally the change that you're looking for. Is that really expensive? But like you said, it's the mindset, because you could just go get a bag and spend $5K on a bag and don't even think about the bag.
Right.
But you don't think the bag's expensive.
Right. It's really about, what you said, like, once I understood that money is just an energy exchange, right? And that what you want to receive in life, you have to be willing to give. That's a big one. And that there's more than enough money. There's more than enough. There's literally money being made every single day. It's infinite. Like, I think I needed to tell myself that every single day. Ain't nothing but a dollar sign. Like, it's quite honestly, like, there's money being made every day and it's infinite.
I think that's so true. You're right. Like, it's infinite. We're infinite beings. Your belief system is everything, though. The mindset and your belief system is everything. Because if you don't believe that, if you invest in a program or invest in a coach, that result is something that you believe that you're either going to get, or if it's a program that's going to make you money, you don't really see yourself reaching that goal, it's going to be very hard for you to make that investment, because you don't believe it. And you're truly only going to go as far as you believe.
Absolutely. And if there's people that are hearing this, right? And maybe you're on survival mode, and I honor that. And maybe you don't have money in the bank right now, and you're like, what are y'all talking about? This is what I gotta because I've been there, and I know what that's like. You really have to. So this is what I go on YouTube, right? And find some positive money affirmations, and start listening to those bad boys every single day before you go to sleep. And really start to think of yourself as a valuable person, that just because you were born, you have value. And think of all the ways that you give, and do everything you can in your life to give from the heart, and watch things come to you. Watch money come to you. Just watch.
Yo, that works.
I know there's people that are going to be listening to this like, what the hell? What are they talking about?
What is this sorcery?
It works.
It definitely works. I mean, I made my own money manifestation cards, so I use them. I know what it is, So, all right, let's talk about your services, and the products you provide.
Yeah.
So, if someone wanted to tap into you, obviously become a certified coach.
Yes.
What are all of the programs and services that you currently provide that people that are interested in you could take advantage of?
Yeah, so right now there's 3 different offerings that I have. So one is the coaching certification, and you can take that. I offer a new group every single month. So you're free to go on my website and check that out. There is, and the beauty about that is that when you are learning how to become a coach, you yourself will be coached. You'll have a partner, another coach that will be coaching you as well. So you get to experience that in the flesh. The second thing that I'm offering is a course called Positive Intelligence to help you really transform your mindset and use your brain power towards positive activities, as opposed towards the activities of your saboteur, your ego, to help you live more from an empathetic, loving place. And then the third thing that I am offering too is one-on-one coaching. So if you really are ready to transform your life, your company, your organization, is executive coaching. Love doing that, coaching you and your team as well. And then something really hot and juicy that I'm doing right now is a course for attorneys of color. Helping them, create an intentional career, an intentional life, and a career that really fuels their higher purpose for attorneys of color. And so if you're an attorney, you are my people, attorneys of color. And that's what I have for now. There's also my book. If you're not ready to work with a coach and you just want to dip your toe into coaching, create your best year one day at a time is my audiobook. I have it in ebook form, and I also have it available in Spanish.
Well, I have to co-sign that Clara knows what she's doing. And if you're on the fence, you should probably just get on the other side of the fence. Right now, I'm definitely a testament. I've taken one of her cohorts. I was actually the only guy in it. Was I like
you are
at the time?
We are 70 coaches strong right now in the Certified Coaches Network, and you are you're one of 2 lucky gentlemen.
So listen, all my guys, all my fellas, you guys want to become a coach? Tap into Clara. If you're a female out there, join them, because there's a bunch of y'all, But yeah, I really want to thank you for taking the time and just sharing a lot of the things that you have shared on this platform, because like thinking about like the subconscious creation, the self-belief, how the path could really be a lonely path, like those are real things. And I feel grateful that you were able just to give those gems on here, because I want people to really like digest that and really think about that. Because being a coach, there are some amazing things. My life has been great and it's getting better every single day. But there are some areas where you're going to face, you're going to experience. You may even fall back into some of the bad patterns at some point. But by learning some of the frameworks that you teach, by continuing down your self-development path, by reading more books, podcasts, YouTube, finding digital mentors, and even other coaches that may be proficient in certain areas where you want to become more proficient in, you're just going to become a better person. And exactly. As a result, be able to pour into your clients on a higher level, right. And everyone wins. That's a whole win-win situation.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you for your example. And remember to give without expectation and receive without resistance.
100%. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. This was another episode of the On the Pursuit Podcast. Clara Angelina, my master coach and executive leadership coach, had the opportunity to join us, and I'll see you guys on another episode.
If you're someone looking to level up in your personal life and also in your business, what if I told you there's only 2 things that you really need to focus on? Number 1 is your routines. If you knock down your routine each and every day, you're gonna be further along in your personal life. The other thing is your rituals. If you knock down your rituals each and every day, you're gonna be further along in your business life. And what if I told you don't have to do this all by yourself? You can be part of an impactful group that's looking to level you up and support you along your journey. What's in the group? Let me give you the sauce. I'm talking about a daily tracker to make sure you stay on point. We read books that impact your life in real time. You get access to a group community where we're there to support one another. And there's 2 group coaching sessions each and every month. And guess what? It's only $1 for 7 days, so you can try it out. And then after that, it's $89 a month. All this value. So click the link below, get in a group. Let's level up your life. Let's level up your business. Let's go to the next level.